English Daily, the podcast.
Your English journey starts now. Hey, English learners. Welcome back to your podcast, the English Daily Podcast.
Yes, we're so happy to have you here today.
Today's episode is all about morning routine English conversation practice, and we're doing something a little different today.
That's right. We're talking about the smart way versus the hard way of learning English.
Now, don't worry, we're not here to judge anyone, but we are here to help you learn English in a way that actually feels good.
Exactly. So whether you're a beginner or you already speak pretty well, you'll find something useful here today.
And hey, if you're a self-proclaimed lazy learner, which honestly, Jack and I have been there too, this episode is especially for you.
Guilty as charged, Anna. I remember when I first started learning languages, I tried everything the hard way. Flashcards, grammar textbooks, memorize all the rules approach. It was exhausting.
Oh, I feel you. But here's the thing. We're going to show you how to learn morning routine English the smart way. Fun, practical, and totally doable.
Let's dive right in.
So, Jack, let's start with the basics. Why do you think morning routines are such a popular topic for English learners?
That's a great question, Anna. I think it's because everyone can relate to mornings, right? Whether you're a student, a working professional, or just someone who loves sleep, we all have some kind of morning routine.
Exactly. And that's what makes it such a great topic for learning English. You already know what you're talking about in your own language. You're just translating your existing knowledge.
That's such a good point. When I was learning Spanish, talking about my morning routine was one of the first things that felt natural. I already knew what I did every morning. I just needed the English words.
So what was your morning routine back then? When you were first starting out with English, I mean.
Oh man, let me think. Well, I would wake up around 7, then I'd hit snooze about 3 times. Classic procrastinator move, right?
Oh, you're so relatable. I'm the same way, honestly. But okay, so you hit snooze, and then what happened?
Then I'd finally get up, brush my teeth, take a quick shower, and grab breakfast. Usually just toast or something. Nothing fancy.
Nice. And did you notice how many everyday English phrases we just used? Hit snooze, get up, brush my teeth, take a shower, grab breakfast. Super common, super useful.
Right, and that's the beauty of this topic. These are words and phrases you're going to use every single day for the rest of your life. Talk about practical.
Absolutely. And for our lazy learners out there, and again, no shame, morning routine English is perfect because it's repetitive. You say the same things every day. That means you only need to learn a small set of vocabulary, and you practice it naturally.
That's such a smart way to put it. It's like immersion without even trying. You don't need to sit down with a textbook. You just talk about your morning and boom, you're learning.
Boom! Exactly. See? This is the smart way we mentioned, learning English through things you actually do every day.
And the hard way would be what? Memorizing lists of vocabulary you'll never use?
Yeah, basically, or studying grammar rules without context, which, don't get me wrong, grammar is important, but there's a time and a place for everything.
I agree. So let's give our listeners some actual morning routine English to work with. What do you usually do in the morning, Anna? Walk us through it.
Oh, okay. Well, I try to wake up at 6:30, but honestly, sometimes it's 7. I'm definitely not a morning person.
There's that snooze button again, huh?
Guilty as charged. But anyway, after I wake up, I stretch for a few minutes. I know it sounds a bit yoga-ish, but it really helps me wake up properly.
Oh, you stretch. That's cool. I never thought about that. I just kind of stumbled to the bathroom.
Well, different strokes, right? Then I brush my teeth and wash my face. Simple stuff.
You know, it's funny. We say wash my face, but we also say take a shower or have a shower. The verb changes depending on what we're doing.
Good catch. Yeah, we say have a shower or take a shower. Both work. But for face washing, it's wash my face. Little differences like that are what make English tricky but also interesting.
And that's exactly why we do these episodes. Picking up these little details through conversation is so much more effective than memorize flashcards.
Absolutely. So keep listening, keep practicing, and you'll pick up all these nuances naturally. Okay, Jack, let's talk about something that confuses a lot of learners. What's the difference between wake up and get up?
Oh, that's a great question. And honestly, I think a lot of native speakers use them interchangeably sometimes, which doesn't help learners.
True, but let's break it down properly.
Okay, so wake up means to stop sleeping. It's about the moment you become conscious, like I wake up at 7 every morning.
And get up?
Get up means to rise from bed, to put yourself in a standing position. It's the action of leaving your bed, like I get up at 7:30.
So, in a way, wake up is about consciousness and get up is about physical movement?
Exactly, you nailed it. And here's a fun example. You can wake up at 6, but not get up until 7 if you hit snooze a bunch of times.
That's such a real example. I do that all the time. I wake up at 6:30, but I don't actually get up until 7.
See? Perfect example. And that's why these conversations matter. You're not just memorizing rules, you're learning how real people actually talk.
And here's another one. You can also wake someone up, like if your alarm wakes you up, or if you wake up your roommate because you're being noisy.
Right, that's a transitive use. Wake up can take an object. Could you wake me up at 6 tomorrow?
Could you use get someone up in that situation?
Not really, honestly. We don't really say get someone up in the same way. You might say get someone out of bed, like I had to get him out of bed this morning, but get up is usually just for yourself.
Got it. So wake up can be both intransitive and transitive, but get up is mainly intransitive.
That's a good way to think about it. And actually, there's also wake up to something, like I woke up to the sound of birds.
Oh, that's a nice expression. And what about get up to?
Oh, get up to is fun. It means to do something, usually something unexpected or mischievous, like what did you get up to this weekend?
Oh, I see. So it's not about mornings at all. It's about activities.
Exactly. English is full of these little surprises. One word changes and suddenly it means something completely different.
And that's why exposure is so important. You can't learn all these combinations from a textbook. You have to hear them in context.
Absolutely. So keep listening to podcasts like this one, and you'll pick up all these phrasal verbs naturally.
And don't stress if it feels overwhelming at first. It takes time, but trust the process. It works. All right, Jack, let's move on to breakfast. What's your typical morning meal?
Oh man, I'm pretty simple. Usually just coffee and maybe some toast, sometimes eggs if I have time.
Coffee. That's a big one. Tell me about your coffee routine.
Oh, I'm such a coffee addict, honestly. I can't function without it. First thing I do after getting up is make a cup of coffee.
Do you make it at home or go to a coffee shop?
At home mostly. I've got this fancy espresso machine, so I usually make it myself. But on weekends, I'll definitely go to a coffee shop and treat myself.
Nice. And what do you usually order?
Usually just a latte or a cappuccino, sometimes an Americano if I want something stronger.
Impressive. And you know what I find interesting? In English, we say make coffee, but we say brew coffee too. They're kind of interchangeable.
Oh, good point. Yeah, brew sounds a bit more old-fashioned or fancy, but they're both totally fine.
Like you're brewing a pot of coffee versus making a single cup.
Exactly. And then there's grab a coffee, which means to get coffee quickly, usually to go.
That's such a common expression. Hey, want to grab a coffee? Means do you want to go get coffee together?
See, this is what we mean by practical English. These are phrases you'll use all the time in real conversations.
Absolutely. Now, what about food? What do you eat for breakfast?
Like I said, toast mostly, sometimes cereal, and on special occasions I'll make pancakes or something.
Pancakes. That's a fun one. Now, here's a question for you. Do you eat breakfast at home or on the go?
At home, usually. I'm not great at eating while walking, but I know a lot of people who grab breakfast on their way to work.
Yeah, totally normal. And here's another expression, have breakfast versus eat breakfast. Both are fine, but have is a bit more common in everyday English.
Right. We say have breakfast, have lunch, have dinner. It's like having an experience, not just eating food.
That's a nice way to think about it. And actually, breakfast is one of those words that doesn't have a plural. You can't say breakfasts. Well, you can, but it's a bit weird.
Wait, really? Huh. I never thought about that. You just say have breakfast every day, not have breakfasts.
Yeah, it's the same with lunch and dinner, too. They're usually uncountable in this context. Little details like that trip people up.
But that's why we're here. We'll help you catch all these little details so you can sound more natural.
Exactly. And remember, even native speakers make mistakes. The important thing is to keep practicing and not be afraid to sound a little weird at first. Okay, let's talk about getting ready in the morning. What does getting ready mean to you, Jack?
Oh, it means all the stuff you do before leaving the house, like getting dressed, doing your hair, putting on makeup, that kind of thing.
Perfect. And it's such a common phrase. I'm getting ready means I'm preparing to go somewhere.
What about getting dressed? That's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, it means putting on clothes. But here's something interesting. We also say getting changed sometimes, like, I need to get changed before we go.
Oh, that's true. And getting ready is more general, while getting dressed is specifically about clothes.
Exactly. These little distinctions matter, and the more you listen to native speakers, the more you'll pick up on them.
Now let's talk about time expressions, because that's something learners always struggle with.
Oh, great idea. What are some common ones?
Well, for mornings, we have in the morning, early morning, late morning. Like, I wake up early in the morning, or I sleep until late morning on weekends.
What about this morning, every morning, tomorrow morning?
Yes, those are super important. This morning means the current morning. Every morning means routinely. Tomorrow morning means the next day.
And yesterday morning for the past.
Right. Now, here's a tricky one. In the morning versus on Monday morning.
Oh, what's the difference?
In the morning is general, any morning. But on Monday morning is specific, a particular day. You need the preposition on before the day.
So it's in the morning, but on Tuesday morning, on Wednesday morning, and so on.
Exactly. Little rules like that can be confusing, but once you hear them enough, they become natural.
And that's our philosophy here. Immerse yourself in real conversations, and these patterns will just click.
Now, what about time itself, like at 7 o'clock versus at 7?
Both work. At 7 is more casual. At 7 o'clock is a bit more formal or precise.
And what about at sunrise or at dawn? Those are more poetic, right?
Yeah, they're a bit more literary. Most people just say when the sun comes up or when I wake up.
See, that's the smart way to learn. You don't need fancy vocabulary. You just need the everyday stuff.
Absolutely. Keep it simple, keep it real, and you'll progress faster than you think. Okay, Jack, let's get to the heart of today's episode. Why do we call this the lazy way to learn?
That's such a good question. I think the lazy way, and I put that in quotes, really means learning without forcing yourself to do things that feel unnatural or exhausting.
Exactly. It's about working with your natural habits instead of fighting against them.
And honestly, I was the worst offender. When I first started learning Spanish, I made these huge vocabulary lists and tried to memorize 50 words a day. It was miserable, and I gave up after 2 weeks.
Oh, no, that's so common, though. People think they need to study hard to learn a language.
Right. But here's what changed everything for me. I started talking about things I actually cared about. My hobbies, my daily routine, my family. Suddenly, learning wasn't a chore anymore.
That's the magic. When you're interested in the topic, learning becomes effortless.
And that's why morning routines are perfect. Everyone has one, and everyone can talk about it easily.
Plus, it's not like you're learning about something boring like tax law or something.
Right, though I guess some people find tax law interesting.
Probably not our target audience.
Definitely not. So here's the lazy learner's secret. Talk about what you know, your daily life, your interests, your experiences. You already have the knowledge. You just need the English words.
And that's exactly what we're doing today. We're giving you the vocabulary to talk about your morning routine, something you already know how to do.
Another lazy trick. Listen to podcasts like this one while you're doing other things. You don't need to sit down and study, just have it on in the background.
Oh, that's such a good point. Passive listening is still learning. Your brain picks up patterns and vocabulary even when you're not actively trying.
And it adds up over time. 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. Suddenly you've got hours of exposure.
That's the smart way, not the hard way.
Exactly. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by language learning, take a step back. Find topics that interest you. Make it easy on yourself.
And remember, consistency beats intensity every time. Better to do a little bit every day than to burn yourself out with marathon study sessions.
You know, I think that's really important for lazy learners to hear. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep showing up.
Absolutely. Even if it's just 5 minutes a day, that's still progress.
And eventually those 5 minutes become 10, become 20, and suddenly you're having real conversations without even realizing it.
That's the dream, right? Learning without feeling like you're studying.
That's exactly the lazy way.
Now, let's talk about some common mistakes that learners make when talking about morning routines. What comes to mind, Jack?
Oh, there are so many. One that stands out is using the wrong preposition. Like, I wake up at 7 o'clock. People sometimes say in 7 o'clock, which is wrong.
Yeah, time expressions are tricky. It's at 7, in the morning, but on Monday.
Another mistake is mixing up have and eat with meals. Like we say have breakfast, not eat breakfast, though both are technically okay.
Actually, that's a good point. Have breakfast is more common, but eat breakfast isn't wrong.
Right, it's a preference thing. But if you want to sound more natural, have is your friend.
What about take a shower versus have a shower?
Both work. American English tends to say take a shower. British English says have a shower. Neither is wrong.
See, English is full of these little variations. It's not always right or wrong. Sometimes it's just preference.
Another mistake is forgetting the article. Like people say, I go to work in the morning. That's correct. But sometimes learners say, I go to work in morning, missing the.
Yeah, articles are tricky. There's no easy rule. You just have to learn them through exposure.
And that's why listening to native speakers is so helpful. Your brain starts to feel when something sounds right or wrong.
Curious. What about word order? Any common mistakes there?
Well, one that comes up is putting time expressions in the wrong place. Like, I every morning wake up at 7. That's wrong. It should be, I wake up at 7 every morning.
Oh, that's a good one. The time expression usually goes at the end or at the beginning.
Exactly. Every morning I wake up at 7 also works.
See, these are the little details that make you sound more natural, and you learn them by listening, not by memorizing rules.
Another mistake is overthinking phrasal verbs. People try to understand every single combination, but that's impossible.
Yeah, there are hundreds of phrasal verbs. You can't memorize them all.
The smart way is to learn them in context. When you hear wake up in a sentence, you understand it. That's enough for now.
And as you hear it more, it becomes natural. That's how native speakers learn, not by studying grammar books, but by absorbing the language.
So my advice to lazy learners is this. Don't try to learn everything at once. Pick a topic, like morning routines, and master it. Then move on to the next topic.
That's great advice. Quality over quantity, right?
Exactly. Master a small set of vocabulary and phrases, practice them until they're natural, and then expand.
And remember, making mistakes is part of the process. Every mistake is a learning opportunity.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to speak even if you're not perfect. That's the only way to improve.
Okay, Jack, it's time for our vocabulary breakdown. Let's go through some key phrases from today's conversation.
Yes, I'm excited about this. These are super practical phrases that our listeners can start using right away.
Let's start with hit snooze. What does that mean, Jack?
Hit snooze means to press the snooze button on your alarm clock to get a few more minutes of sleep.
Can you give us an example?
Sure, I always hit snooze at least twice before getting up.
Impressive. And what's another way to say that?
You could say, I press snooze, or I snooze my alarm. Both work.
Perfect. Now, what about get up?
Get up means to rise from bed, to stand up after sleeping.
Example?
I usually get up at 6:30.
And what's the difference with wake up?
Wake up means to stop sleeping, to become conscious, like I wake up at 6, but I don't get up until 7.
Got it. Now, what about grab breakfast?
Grab means to get something quickly, usually to take away.
Example?
Sure, I usually grab breakfast on my way to work.
Nice. And have breakfast versus grab breakfast?
Have breakfast means to eat breakfast, usually sitting down. Grab breakfast means to get it quickly, often to go.
Perfect. Let's move on to get ready.
Get ready means to prepare yourself, to do all the things you need to do before leaving.
Example?
Sure, I'm getting ready for work.
Now, what about make coffee?
Make coffee means to prepare coffee, usually at home with a machine or a pot.
And what's another way to say it?
Brew coffee. That's a more fancy way to say it.
Great. Now, take a shower versus have a shower.
Both mean the same thing, to wash your body. Take a shower is more American, have a shower is more British.
Good to know. Let's do a few more.
Sure, get dressed means to put on clothes.
Example?
I get dressed and then eat breakfast.
Now, in the morning versus on Monday morning.
In the morning is general, any morning. On Monday morning is specific to a particular day. You need on before the day name.
Impressive. Perfect. What about every morning?
Every morning means routinely, each morning, without exception.
Example?
I drink coffee every morning.
Now, wake someone up. This is transitive.
Yes, wake someone up means to make someone else stop sleeping.
Example?
Sure, my alarm wakes me up at 6.
Impressive. And finally, get up to.
Get up to means to do something, usually something unexpected, like, what did you get up to this weekend?
Perfect. Those are some really useful phrases.
And remember, you don't need to memorize all of them at once. Just pick a few that you can use in your daily life and practice them.
All right, Jack, let's wrap up with some reflection questions for our listeners.
Yes, these are questions for you to think about and maybe even practice answering out loud.
Question 1. What time do you usually wake up in the morning?
Think about this one. Do you wake up early, late, or somewhere in between?
Question 2. Do you hit snooze or do you get up right away?
Be honest, there's no judgment here.
Question 3. What does your morning routine look like? Try to describe it in at least 3 sentences.
Don't worry about being perfect, just practice.
Question 4. Do you have breakfast or do you skip it?
And if you have breakfast, what do you usually eat?
Question 5. How many cups of coffee do you drink in the morning?
Be honest, we won't judge.
Question 6. Do you get ready at home or do you get ready at work?
Some people do their hair and makeup at the office. It's more common than you think.
Question 7. What's your favorite time of day? Morning, afternoon, or evening?
And why? Try to explain your answer.
Question 8. How would you describe your morning routine to a friend? Try to use at least 3 new phrases from today's episode.
Question 9. Do you think the lazy way to learn works for you? Why or why not?
Think about your own learning style. What works best for you?
And finally, question 10. What's one thing you can do differently tomorrow to practice your English in the morning?
Maybe it's describing your routine out loud, or listening to a podcast, or writing a few sentences. Every little bit counts.
And that's a wrap for today, everyone.
Thanks so much for listening to the English Daily Podcast. We hope you learned something useful today.
Remember, learning English doesn't have to be hard. Find what works for you. Keep practicing, and most importantly, have fun.
We'll see you next time.
Take care, English learners.
Your learning journey doesn't stop here. Keep improving your English. Click the next video or explore more episodes we've picked just for you. See you in the next lesson.